Hey guys, check that out. Yep, that's me. It's me, Token Vaping. How's it going? Today's juice review is an ongoing flavor profile for a set that I'm working on. After this, there's one more flavor to this set. If you've been watching my videos at all on my channel, you do know that I've been trying to cut down the amount of time it takes for each video to make them a little bit easier to watch so that they're not too long. But however, because of that, the drawback to that is that it does tend to take me a little bit longer to get through multiple companies and their lineups, which is why I'm trying to do a rotation. So I do a full circle, and then as I finish up one, I add another company into that mix. So I am trying to get to everybody and devote the time and attention that each deserve. However, it does tend to take me a little bit longer than trying to cram them all into one video. I just think it takes too much time that way, and it's harder for people to want to sit through an entire video. So just bear with me. I will get through them all. However, the flavor that I'm doing from the company, or the company that I'm doing the flavor on the review today, is Apothecary Elixirs. And if you've watched the other videos that I've done for this company, I'm a fan of their labeling. Actually, I'm a fan of a few things this company does, but I'm a fan of their labeling because it has an old style, old world look to it. It has, the descriptive name for their company here, but even though it's just a sticker label, the style of this logo right in here has an old time feel to it. It almost has like like an old west style, like the wanted posters and the traveling elixirs salesmen that have that one bottle of cure all everything bottle. It has that feel to it, so I'm a big fan of that. Another thing that I like about this company is this is the flavor. It's elixir number 3, but it gives the profile. If you can see right there, it gives the profile underneath the name of the flavor. So that's cool too, because a lot of times, even if they provide a flavor menu, it's not always easy to always keep referring back to the flavor menu itself. But to have the flavor on the bottle itself, obviously when you're vaping it, you can just look at it and go, oh yeah, that's what this is, and you vape it. So that's kind of cool as well. Another thing that I like about this company is it's on their website. If you go to apothecaryelixirs.com, I mean, this is a very well done, in-depth website as far as having all of their flavor profiles on there. But they also have a few other little things here and there about the website that I think is cool too. One of them that I've noted that not many companies do actually is they have steeping notes. Per their flavor profiles, there's actually, if you pull up like each individual flavor and you go to the description and everything else, they have the description of the flavor, they have the mix ratio, but they also have steeping notes if it's a flavor that needs to be pre-steeped, whether or not you can vape it right out the bottle as soon as you get it, things like that. I mean, it may not seem like a big deal, but that's a little extra information that makes a big difference to people, because you may get a flavor that's meant to be steeped first and not know it and try to vape it, and it may just taste horrible to you. Whereas if you would have just let it sit for, a week or a week or so, it makes all the difference in the flavor, and then you vape it and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. So little detail things like that, it impresses me when a company does it, and I mean, obviously it doesn't really take a whole lot to add it to the website. One of the other things that I like is, as of September of 2016, according to the website, they donate 10% of their sales to SFATA, which is one of the biggest vaping advocacy groups known. So the fact that they're that dedicated and they're that passionate about vaping and the community and the direction that it's heading just in general, that's awesome regardless, no matter what. So enough about that. Let's dive into this. Now, they do offer 30 mil, 50 mil, and 100 mil bottles, I do believe. This is the 30 mil bottle. States it right in here as far as the size of it. And then it has the nicotine content here, which is a 3, but they also offer a 1.5, a 3, a 6, and a 12. So it's not that they're trying to allow you to vape, more nicotine than you need to, but they're trying to cover as wide a variety of vapors as possible with the quality of juice as well, so that somebody doesn't go, well, you don't have my nic level, so I'm not even going to bother giving you a try, whereas they may overlook a flavor that would have really worked for them. but they do offer a wide expanse like that. The gentleman that founded the company and runs it and the day-to-day, his big passion was to provide quality flavors for affordable pricing. After talking to people that he knew, people that were coming to him, I really want to quit, but this is why I can't, or this is the problem that I'm having with vaping. And he's taken all of that into consideration and tried to put together as high quality a product as possible to accommodate all styles of vapors, but also make it feel like that you're not being ripped off and paying more than you need to for that. So great vision, just a world-class gentleman and everything else. It is a plastic bottle. It does have a solid safety security ring right there. Even though I do this, it's not going to take the cap off until I break it, which I will here in a second. It does have the website here, which is apothecaryelixirs.com, and then it has the warning and ingredient labeling that they need on the side here. Now, one other thing real fast. I was going through the website and I was going through some of the extra links that are on there. They actually provide what type of flavorings and flavor profiles that they use for these. And as it states there, if there are people that are like do-it-yourselfers or want to try to emulate the flavor, they don't give you the percentage because that's their secret. That's what works for them. That's what makes their flavor and their uniqueness, which is really cool. But they tell you what flavors they use so that you can experiment a little bit. Maybe you like a specific flavor, but you were hoping part of it popped a bit more than something else that was in it. So it lets you experiment a little bit as well. But regardless of anything else, safety measure wise, always make sure you know what you're doing with the chemicals and make sure you understand the mixture specifics and how to properly do that if you're ever even going to bother with it. If not, don't mess with it. Now we're going to dive into this. This is this is probably the strongest VG juice that I have tried to date that I remember. The mix ratio for this is a 92.5 VG with a 7.5% PG. So the cloud should be really, really solid off of this thing, and it should be a really smooth, heavier vape. But that's actually really cool. So we're definitely going to check this out. Now this is Elixir number 3. Again with the glare. I apologize for my light. Elixir number 3. The flavor profile for this is dark rum, pineapple, and wild melon. Now, obviously, you're not going to have actual alcohol in the vape, so it's going to be a flavoring that emulates the rum type flavor. So this is meant to be more of a tropical based drink. It does have the pineapple and the wild melon, which is probably going to consist more of like the cantaloupe, honeydew, and other style melons as far as that to give it a more tropical type flavor. So enough about that. I'm wasting all the time on this video, so we're going to bust this open and we're going to go ahead and vape this. So this is a first vape, first review, and as always, I'm going to juice it on a fresh build wick, or a fresh wicked build, and the cotton that I use, as always, is my trusty Texas Tough cotton. Just works really well for me. I'm loyal to the company. I enjoy the flavor that comes off of it, and it doesn't have a strong cottony taste to me, so I like that a lot too. So on Instagram, it's Texas Tough Cotton if you are interested. So we're going to go ahead and bust this open. You should hear a pop as soon as it does hit right there. And now you know that it's broken. And then it comes in a really neat, nifty little squeeze bottle tip like that, so it makes it easier to apply to a dripper or a tank. So again, just a little thing that they added. It's not that big of a deal to change it up a little bit, but it makes all the difference to the vapor themselves. So that's really cool too. Oh yeah, it has a very, very melon-based flavor or smell, but not overly powering. It's not super sweet, but it's definitely melons. I get more cantaloupe and honeydew out of it as well, so I'm going to assume that that's the main focus of the melon flavor, even though it does have, whoops, get the safety ring off there, even though it's supposed to, it says other wild melons. Honeydew and cantaloupe have very distinctive flavors to them, as well as smell. And they also work really well in a lot of tropical or fruitier style flavors. So as I'm juicing this up, and as you're watching me do this, sorry, just remember, I try to give as informative a base to go off of and a little bit more information and background so that you know what you're getting into with the vape and the flavor as such. But I don't want you to think that I'm trying to tell you how you're supposed to take it. I'm not trying to tell you how to vape. I'm not trying to tell you what you're going to taste. I'm just telling you what I get out of this, and hopefully that helps give you a little bit more information to go off of to see if it's something you're willing to try. Not every shop in the world carries this. The main company, I believe, is based in North Carolina, so you know, if you're in the area and you're local, definitely stop by and try them out. If you're not and you want to give it a shot, you know, reach out to them. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they have their own website. You can email them as well, just straight off the website too. So I just don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to impose my will on anybody, because that's not what I'm doing. Go ahead, give this a quick little pre-burn, get the juices flowing through the cotton. Give us a little bit more, and this little nozzle tip on this is awesome. You know, it directs the juice almost perfectly. You know, whether you're using a tank or, as you can see here, a dripper, it goes directly straight to the cotton without having to overflow or flood. If Unicorn bottles had a more of a tip style like that, that would actually be really impressive. And no, you didn't see me try to put the bottle cap on my RDA. Actually, you probably did. So we're going to have this up, and as always, I am vaping it at 75 watts. And this is Elixir number 3 from Apothecary Elixirs. Oh yeah. Do you see how dense those clouds are? And I'm gone. Gone. Go ahead and drip a little bit more. Okay, so flavor-wise, now, I have enjoyed most of the other flavors that I've tried from this lineup. This flavor particularly is coming off with a really strong throat hit for me. Now, I'm not a fan of throat hits, so for the level that this is hitting at, this is a bit much for my taste. I'm not a fan of the throat hit. That's why when I go for the higher VGs, I go for ones that are higher VG to make them smoother. Now, because there's melon involved in this and pineapple, which are not heavy flavors, it does tend to thin the flavor out a bit. So regardless of having a heavy VG content, you're still going to get more of a throat hit than you would expect. Again, for me, this is a bit more than I'm comfortable with, so it's probably not a flavor that I would jump on. As far as the flavor-wise, you definitely get the melon aspect of it. The pineapple gives it a light little sweetness on the undertone, and then there's a kind of I don't want to say musky, but there is definitely a change in the flavor for a light tone of it that is going to represent the rum aspect of here to overall encompass the drink style of this vape. I'm going to go ahead and juice this up just a slight bit more and see if I can not over, but I'm going to try to make sure that the cotton is super saturated. And I'm going to hit this one more time just to see if I can get the throat hit to kind of tone down a little bit, because again, like I said, for me, it is a bit strong. Okay, so it did tone out a bit the more you do vape on it, but it still is a bit stronger than what I'm comfortable with as far as that goes. But the rum aspect of this is what makes this flavor a little different. Now, like I said, it does have a muskier taste to it. So if you were drinking if you were actually drinking this drink with the rum added to it, if you've ever had rum, you know that aftertaste that it gives you. You definitely catch that in this. So if you like that style of flavor, this definitely is right up your alley. If you're not used to that type of flavor, or any type of a drink, an alcoholic drink style flavor, this is definitely going to be different. Is it worth the try? That's going to be up to you to decide. It just depends on whether or not you like the drink aspect, or if you're more of the fruit flavor. So the rum aspect of this flavor might throw you off from the melons and the pineapple. Regardless, either way, it is a solid flavor. It does work. It's just not my cup of tea because it's not the type of flavor profile that I generally go for. And like I said, the throat hit is a bit stronger than what I prefer. However, overall, it is a solid flavor as the line is. But this is definitely a flavor that is going to be a personal preference, as opposed to a flavor that, if you're looking for a specific flavor that everybody may or may not like. This is definitely going to be a personal choice. But regardless of anything else, Apothecary Elixirs, thank you so much for the continued privilege to allow me to review your flavors. It has been a huge honor and opportunity. As I said, guys, I believe there's one more left in this set that I'll do. Keep an eye out. There is that red subscribe button. It'll keep you posted on when I do post these up on my YouTube channel. Definitely check them out, apothecaryelixirs.com, Facebook and Instagram for sure. Email them if you have any questions, or if you are a shop and you're interested in samples. As always, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest. Anything that I can do to help further enhance your vaping experience, absolutely let me know. I will be more than happy to do what I can to help. All I want to do is help you enjoy vaping more. With that, always remember, no matter what, vape on, vape strong, and have a good night.